the 6 seed CSUN Matadors. And this is Game On, presented by Bank of Hawaii. Well, let's take a look at the bracket. Quarterfinal number 1 just concluded a couple of minutes ago. And what a
service line, switch it up offensively, and is a phenomenal passer. We've seen him take over matches. This is someone that Irvine's going to need in order to get wins.
With the Matadors, Stilian Delibosov is yet another freshman Bulgarian who has taken the conference by storm. He is starting in the middle along with Lorenzo Bertozzi on the outside, Joao Avila, another outside hitter, albeit undersized, but a guy who can absolutely get it done. The libero is Chris Carnizis. We've been talking about Oppo Jalen Phillips. Another Joao, which is Favarim, the other middle blocker, and Donovan Constable, one of the 4 all-conference setters. And he is arguably the best one in the Big West. On the other side for UC Irvine, Shane Aiken is the libero. Will Darcy is the opposite hitter, and he's been fantastic this season. Micah Goss, a freshman middle from Santa Barbara, who has just been remarkable for David Niffin's squad. Nolan Flexen, all Big West Conference selection. You have setter Joe Carlos. Elir Heno, he's been all-world. In fact, was last year's ABCA National Player of the Year. And their other middle hitter, Maxim Grigorev, who was for the 2nd time named all Big West Conference. All right, let's officially meet the head coaches. We already
youth national teams and junior national teams, and so he is always looking to improve as a coach.
And on the other side, David Niffin, we mentioned it, probably at least owns a timeshare here in Hawaii. The 8th time UC Irvine.
They're big, they're talented, they're challenged. The only one that's on the short side would be Grigorov, and he is a middle blocker. But he plays, he's like 6'4", but plays like he's 6'8".
Well, we mentioned the
ABCA Player of the Year, as you said earlier, last year. Another all Big West first team selection again this year for the 4th time.
And is 9 aces away from tying the NCAA career aces mark. As CSUN strikes first, so the Matadors on the opening serve, able to work the offense, and they get on the board 1 serving 0. It will be Stilian Delibosov, 6'6" freshman from Bulgaria. Does that sound familiar? A freshman Bulgarian who is already a star in the Big West Conference. Seems to be going around, huh?
It really has.
And you can see why the heavy-handed serve. High ball set goes to Heno. And he is able to avoid the block. However, he also misses the floor. And so the Matadors off to a good start. Delibosov gets the opening kill, and then his serve gets Irvine out of system, and it's quickly 2-0 here in the first.
A rare error from Billy Heno.
Heno hitting 366 on the year. Outside here is Heno. Bigger swing that time. Delibosov off the block, able to get the save. Popped up there, Nolan Flexen. Here's Will Darcy, hits it into the net. And so the Matadors, in imagining the kind of start they wanted to see here tonight, this is probably something that they could only have dreamt of, scoring the first 3 points.
Absolutely. Great serving, by the way, by Delibosov.
Flexen the first touch, pulls Joe Carlos, the setter, off the net. Two-handed over. Big advantage here for the Matadors. So Donovan Constable goes outside. Lorenzo Bertozzi, the 6'4" senior from Parma, Italy, continuing to apply the pressure. Now, it was a 5-set loss the last time these 2 teams played. And it was Bertozzi who went for 17 kills. And that kill forces an Irvine timeout. Well, an early timeout, to say the least, for David Niffin on the other side for UC Irvine, and Theo Edwards there.
Is on fire so far. They have not, Irvine has not gotten 1 good pass yet.
And another great serve. In fact, that one is an ace. Delibosov, who was 2nd on the team in aces this season. And already some early turbulence here for UC Irvine.
Looks like it's going to get challenged, maybe?
Yeah, it looks like a challenge, and they may have beef there. Shane Aiken, at least according to that replay, may have gotten his hand underneath there. they're going to quickly determine that he did, and so they're going to replay the point. Sid Church is the R1 atop the ladder on the near side. Sergio Gonzalez is the R2 on the floor across the way. And so here we go, a mulligan.
How'd you like the fast decision there on the challenge?
The fastest cool. I think we have ever seen here in this building.
I know.
Carlos going outside. Here's Heno. Pummels it for the Anteaters' first point of the match. He is second in the nation in kills, 4.44 per set. He's also second in the nation in aces. And he's had some legendary performances in this building as well. How about going for 36 kills, his career high in the Outrigger Invitational last year. And he sends a two-hander over the net. Advantage Matadors. Constable going D-set. There's Phillips, dug up by Flexen. So Carlos out to Heno. And on two knees, the pickup there by Joel. And UC Irvine gets the point. So 2 serving 4. So far that timeout, albeit very early for David Niffen, paying some dividends. Grigorev with a blast of a serve. Outside the tip there by Bertozzi will be played back. Middle set, Goss. How good is this freshman? A 6'6" middle from Santa Barbara, California. Made the all-freshman team in the Big West. Averaging 1.3 kills per set, hitting .441. He had 10 blocks over the course of the 2 matches against CSUN. It was a sweep for Irvine in the first of the 2 matches in the series last week. That was at home, and then on the road in Northridge, it went 5. Both wins by Irvine and Joel, but a grad student from Costa Mesa, California. And as tough a competitor as there is, and also as creative a setter, perhaps, as there is.
And as old a setter as you'll find. Yeah. I think he's been there 6 years, going on 7. Spent a couple years at Pepperdine and then switched over to UC Irvine. Looks like another challenge here. Let's see if this one goes for under 30 seconds.
So the call was out on the floor, and the challenge by CSUN is that there was a touch. That was Jalen Phillips on the swing. Phillips, all Big West Conference selection for the 2nd straight year, was honorable mention last season. Remember, this was a team that had some other star swingers in Kyle Hobis, Griffin Walters, but it is Phillips that is certainly the A1 now. And hard to determine there, at least by virtue of our replays, if there was a touch there. I'm not sure if you could conclusively see one there. Again, we are showing you just the Spectrum Sports broadcast replays that we have at our disposal. The DV Sport system, which has several other static cameras situated around the arena. Those angles are provided for the officials. And we don't have the privilege of seeing those. And they will call a touch. And that was yet another pretty speedy review.
That was. Who is the R3 down there? Let's give that guy a reward.
I believe that's Tony Chan.
You're right, it is.
6 serving 4. Carlos going backside. Here's Heno. Dug up over the net by Bertozzi. Irvine on the attack. They go middle. It's Goss, but he misses wide of the floor. And it's another point for the Matadors. 7 serving 4.
Some rare errors by UC Irvine.
Well, that toss was out in front, so he just had to soft touch it over. Here's Heno on the backside. He got blocked back. The cover by Flexen. Heno, a full swing. And it was sort of a windmill type of approach and follow through, and it goes down as he goes down to the Terraflex.
So if he hits like 45 balls tonight, every shot will be different.
Yeah.
He's got every shot. He's got the dive after the windmill swing.
Well, we saw the no-look, too. Remember the no-look that he busted out in this building earlier in the season as well?
That was fun to watch.
Spins it over the net. Constable goes middle. And that's going to be a point for CSUN. Hanging and banging that time was Joao Favarim, 6'7" freshman from Virginia. Just over a kill per set, hitting .398. 8 serving 5. Backside, this is Darcy, and he's able to go OTT. Will Darcy is a big fella at the opposite. Yeah, 4th in the Big West Conference in hitting percentage, 386 on the year. Kills per set a bit better in Big West matches. Served by Goss goes long. Now, this is a bit of a late start time for this match due to the 5-setter that was played between UCSB and UCSD, won by the Tritons. And so here, local time already 8:22 here in set number 1. As Phillips got under that one and sends it well out. Now, does that become a factor at all? It's a bit of a time change for these teams. They did get out here on Tuesday. In fact, all of the teams playing tonight got here relatively early on Tuesday. So you figure a little bit of time to adjust. But this is likely a match that could go late into the night. And so you wonder if any of that will factor in at any point.
Well, right now they're playing, unless their clocks have adjusted, they're starting their match at like 11:15 Pacific time.
Outside, that's Flexen. Off the block, good chase down there by Avila. Here is Bertozzi. Block slowed it down, good chase down there by Shane Aiken. Hano from the back row, a sizzler.
Well, that is a tough set for Hano to hit. You know, he's left-handed as the ball's coming across his body. It's got to arrive just on time and in the right spot. And Joe Carlos delivers.
You know, you hear about wide fans, right? Does it get any wider than when Elir Heno is approaching a set?
Yeah.
I mean, he can literally hit it in any direction. Well, there was one direction on that swing by Bertozzi. It was down. Just a smash there. And the Italian flag represented here in Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center. Bertozzi had 17 kills, hit 448. It was one dig shy of a double-double in that 5-set loss against Irvine in Northridge last Saturday. And that's an ace. An ace by Delibosov. Well, he had an ace earlier in this set that was challenged and overturned. They ended up replaying the point. This is an ace on the floor that is being challenged again by David Niffen. They're going to challenge the in-out call.
Oh, that's in.
Oh, in by a mile.
That's way. Watch how fast Tony Chan comes up with the answer here.
Yes.
Look at this.
Oh, man.
Come on.
Oh, this is a whole new world. This is a whole new world. For anybody that's been following the Hawaii volleyball season, watching us here on Spectrum Sports, these challenges, they tend to last a little bit longer than that.
He might be MVP tonight. Might be our Bank of Hawaii player of the game.
Can we give a player of the match to an official? We've never done that before. Bertozzi off the hands, flexing the save. Outside, here's Heno. Kept on the Irvine side. It's Aiken who's going to bump set Heno. 3 blockers up. Again, it stays on the Irvine side. D-set goes to Darcy. Block, punched up in the air by Flexen. Carlos high and away. Heno blocked and roofed. The Matador saying, "Thou shalt not pass." They weren't having it.
As James Anastasiadis said in the pregame, this Matador team can get hot, and right now they are just that.
We're 3rd in the Big West this season in blocks. They have scored 3 straight points. They're up by a handful. Carlos going D-set to Darcy, and he rips it through the block. And a little extra celebration there for Will Darcy.
Back says Joe Carlos. First match, back to Gregorian serving.
So here's Max Grigorev, 6'4" junior from Walnut Creek, California, in his 3rd year with the Anteaters program. One-hand save there, Grigorev, but that was another explosion off of the palm of Lorenzo Bertozzi. We are seeing some heavy hitters here tonight.
They look fresh, bouncy. Even though Bertozzi's only 6'4", he plays like he's about 6'7".
Constable serves it long. And so now Joe Carlos will retreat back to serve here for Irvine. Carlos in his 3rd year with the Anteaters was all Big West Conference honorable mention back in 2023. Spent 2 seasons prior to that at Pepperdine. Set goes to Bertozzi, and he is denied. Elir Heno returns it to sender.
I thought it's a pretty good set by Constable. He gives his hitter a one-on-one, but ball set a little bit too tight to the net. Heno just smothered it.
Oh, CSUN out of system here. Phillips, tough angle. Block slows him down. Carlos going outside. It's Heno again. The touch drops. He just has incredible timing. He knows when to pull the string. And it has to be so frustrating if you are trying to put up some resistance against Elir Heno.
You know what? He's had 14 swings. All 14 of them have been different shots. Go figure.
They're like snowflakes, right? No two are alike.
That's right.
Irvine rattling it around. Here's Darcy against 2 blockers. It's going to be played back. Outside. Oh, boy. Bounce house time. Jalen Phillips going way up into the mesosphere.
He gets up, doesn't he? First team all Big West.
Middle said that's Goss. Nice looking nectar there put up by Carlos, who was off the net and still had the wherewithal to go middle.
He was 10-foot line. Blockers were already heading for the pins. You know, expecting a totally different set.
And now Elir Heno to serve. 65 aces on the season. And he gets one there. Entered the match 9 aces away from tying the NCAA all-time career ace record of 255 held by former UCSB star Evan Paddock.
By the way, his serving tonight, he's had like 7 serves. All of them have been different. Does that surprise you?
Well, that's set a little low to the outside, but how about that maneuver? João Avila, 6'1" freshman from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Yes, 6'1", but that does not at all indicate how effective he is as an outside hitter. Theo Edwards says this guy just can play the game.
Yeah.
High ball set goes to Flexen. Over the block, good save there. Back row set, and that's Bertozzi, and forget it. Goss shuts the door. 10 blocks in the 2 matches against CSUN last week. 5th in the Big West Conference in blocks per set. And he had that one dialed.
Taking after his dad, former 2-time All-American at Stanford.
15 serving 16. Here's Phillips. Diving save Heno. Diving second touch Goss. And we play on. Constable goes middle. The touch over the block by Delibosov. That didn't look like a freshman maneuver. That was some veteran savvy like.
Great set from Constable, and Delibosov somehow found a hole in the ground.
Born in Sofia, Bulgaria, of course, the same hometown.
All your comments about the Bulgarians in the Big West.
I mean, there's something in the water over there. You got Christian Tatrisky for Hawaii. Alex Kondev as well for Long Beach State. Unset going to be tight to the net, and Darcy first to it. It sort of drifted over to the Irvine side, and good springs there in reaction by Will Darcy.
Smart shot by Darcy. Had he swung at that, I think he would have been stuffed.
Yeah, there was a time earlier in the season where David Niffen was experimenting with Nolan Flexen playing the opposite position. And it actually was their trip out to Hawaii, I think, where Will Darcy, at least around that time in the season, where Will Darcy reestablished himself as the go-to at Oppo, and Nolan Flexen, to his credit, playing well enough in serve, receive, and defensively to be able to remain a left side hitter. And that, I think, has rounded out UC Irvine in a big way here as Delibosov lays into another.
And in fact, Nippon told us earlier this week that Sin is now a better blocker, a better digger, a better passer than he was a hitter. He's improved in those 3 areas in a big way.
6'9" senior from Rio Rancho, New Mexico, all Big West Conference selection back behind the line. And he can do that as well. 25 aces on the year. Here's Phillips, hits it into the string. So Jalen Phillips with his first hitting error. 2 kills on now 6 swings, and UC Irvine has come all the way back. CSUN led by as many as a handful. They were up 14-9. We effectively start over at 18 all in the thriller in the first match of the evening between UCSD and UC Santa Barbara, and another tight one here in set 1 between Irvine and CSUN. Outside, Bertozzi dug up, but only momentarily, as Lorenzo Bertozzi once again finds the sweet spot, and he is up to 4 kills. He leads the Matadors right now in that category.
That was a great swing, wasn't it? Had a good set from
Delibosov tickled the tape there. Here is Heno. And that was too hot to handle, right into the lap of Delibosov.
Irvine, I'm glad they're out of the Delibosov serving pattern. He crushed on the first 4 points of the game. Now he rotates out after 1 serve.
Aiden Rigg into the match, into the front row for UC Irvine. He takes over as the setter and goes D-set to Darcy. It's dug up over the net. What a spry move there by Grigorev as he laid out to make the save. Now on the opposite pin. Swing there by Favorine. Stays on the CSUN side, but only for a moment because Jalen Phillips delivers a striking blow. He is so dynamic.
He really is. And Heno is arguing with the referee that Phillips was over the 3-meter line, but not to be.
See the numbers there for Phillips. 3rd in the Big West Conference in kills per set as Goss overpowers the resistance. And we're tied at 20 here in the first.
Got to have the 2 most undersized middles in the conference, and both of them very effective.
That's Bertozzi. They go quick out to him on the right side. And that is an active arm swing. 5 kills now for Lorenzo Bertozzi. 21 serving 20, and he will serve. And he serves it out.
I think 17-30. There's a well over almost 40.
Yeah, I think so. Backside, that is Phillips. Yikes. Off of a trampoline.
What a set from Constable. He puts it right where Phillips likes it. It's 1-on-1 out there. No contest.
Yeah, Donovan Constable, the setter, 6'2" senior from Clovis, California. 6th on the Matador career assist list. He's sensational. Carlos, the one-hand set to Goss, and they make it work. Carlos was able to keep it on the Irvine side. And we're tied again. Tied for the 5th time here in set 1.
That was a terrific save by Joe Carlos. The little guy got up. He was like on a trampoline that time.
Yeah.
To save that overpass.
22 all. Goss on the serve. And the middle set goes to Delibosov. Good first touch that time by the libero for CSUN, Chris Carnizes. Coming into this match, 3rd in the Big West Conference in digs per set. He's in his 3rd year with the Matadors, a Park Ridge, Illinois product. Outside, here's Flexen. Good dig there, Avila. Phillips. It goes off the block and out. Irvine saying that it didn't get above the tape. On the floor, it is called a CSUN point, and they are looking at set point, depending on this challenge by David Niffen. Already the third challenge for Niff.
This is a big one. If he wins the challenge, it's 23-all. If he loses the challenge, it stays at 24-22.
Does this go above the netting?
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Yep. Watch Tony Chan's gonna make a quick call again. Watch this. Watch how fast this call is. Ready?
Well, it looks like it clearly touched the forearms of the block. So here we go. And that is going to be upheld.
17 seconds.
And so Niffen now 3 challenges. He has lost 2 of them. Only 1 challenge remaining for UC Irvine here. The rest of this match, unless they go to a 5th.
Yep.
And you have set point aloha ball here for CSUN in the first. And it is Phillips on the serve. Diving pass there. Nicely done by Aitken. Here's Darcy trying to go over the block, and he misses long. Was there a touch? No touch. And David Niffen with the 1 challenge, I don't think feels too inclined to use it. And so CSUN strikes first in Honolulu against the number 4 team in the country in UC Irvine. The 6 seed up on the 3 seed. 1-0. The dealer's highlight reel. Jalen Phillips always fills up the reel. He's got 5 kills on 1 error, 9 attempts, hitting .444 through that first set. A set won by the Matadors. Lorenzo Bertozzi was just as productive.
He was 5 kills, 2 errors, and 10 tries. He's hitting .300. The team is hitting .433 to Irvine's .265. 4 kills. He's hitting .600. But Bertozzi, how about the way he played that first set? Passed well, hit well. Only made 1 error.
And so CSUN strikes first. Remember, this is the 3rd straight time that these 2 teams are playing each other, and it certainly brings to mind the old adage, the old question about how difficult it is to beat a team 3 times in a row, especially when you're talking about in this Big West Conference.
Yep.
Avila with the serve. Middle set, that's Grigorev. Micah Goss at 6'6", but the production, blocking numbers, kill numbers would not lead you to believe that they are undersized.
And for Grigorev, the ace numbers as well.
Yeah, he's an all-around volleyball player. Not your typical middle. Goss in the middle. And right now, Joe Carlos working the middles here to start this second frame. And would you believe it, first time that Irvine has led tonight. And they're up 2-0. Pass there by Karnizis. The tip, Delibosov. Little trickeration there. He's got 5 kills on 5 swings.
And he's serving even better.
Yeah, he's got an ace. He's got 2 digs.
Spent some time on the national team. Has played with Moni, Nikolov, and Christian Citrikas.
Overpass. And it's Constable.
The outside hitters doesn't make it there. So Coach Theo sends him over to the liberos. Doesn't quite cut it with the liberos. He says, okay, go over and try the setters. And he's become one of the best setters in the country.
Oh, Goss. On the flying carpet, just hovering up there for an extra moment. And then smashing one for the Irvine point.
Well, he gets up, doesn't he? And hangs. Big window of opportunity for Carlos to set him.
Oh, and that is an overpass. Big advantage here for Irvine. They go middle. It's Goss again. Finding the deep corner. And it has been a middle medley here for Irvine in this second set. Four serving two. Constable going outside. That is Bertozzi. Has out some helmets when this guy's swinging.
He's got a really good arm swing. Good set from Constable. One-on-one.
Carlos going outside. That's Darcy. A left pin swing there, and Darcy lets out a roar in celebration.
Darcy had 6'10". He's a gigantic force on that left side.
Named to the Australian senior men's national team in 2022. Heno. That is a tough serve. Avila able to handle it. And then it is Phillips going OTT over the top.
Oh, man. Waiting, ready to go. But could not climb high enough to beat Phillips.
It was a great set for sure by Constable. He goes back out to Phillips. Blocked. Diving save. Constable bumps it. And Phillips this time is smothered. Goss and Darcy putting up the wall.
I think Goss got most of that one. He's got the springs. He get up and down very quickly.
Yeah, the pogo stick action.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's 6 serving 4 here. CSUN hit 433 in that first frame compared to 265 for the Anteaters. Pass by Karnizis is a good one. Oh, but Avila got blanketed that time by Grigorev. So that's now 4 blocks here for Irvine, 2 in this set. And Goss blasts it out. Now it's still early on, but how about Irvine so far? 5 kills, 6 swings, no errors as a squad in this second set.
Big difference from the first set.
Favarim with the serve. Outside flexing, dug up by Bertozzi. So Constable high and away. Phillips. One hand saved by Carlos. Centered by Flexen. Heno gets a swing out of it. And it'll be played back. Back row Bertozzi. Dug up by Heno over the net. First touch Avila. Constable going out to Phillips. Over the block right there was Carlos. So Heno eyeballs it out to Flexen. And he goes down the line and in. Wow.
What a shot. How about the set from Heno that time to get the assist?
And we're going to get a challenge here from CSUN. The challenge by Theo Edwards on the in-out call. It was called in on the floor. See if we can tell from our wide angle.
Hard to tell there. Easier to tell from the end zone camera.
Call confirmed. So Theo Edwards losing the challenge. And so each team, well, 2 challenges left for CSUN, and you have 1 challenge left for Irvine. Look at that little side swipe delivery by Delibosov.
You can see why he was picked to be first team All Big West. The way he serves, the way he attacks, his overall ball handling skills.
Yeah, all Big West Conference, all freshman team. As Flexen starting to flex a little bit here. He is a very talented swinger at 6'9", has that frame. A former AVCA NAIA Player of the Year at the Masters where he led the nation with 5.3 kills per set before matriculating over to Irvine. He has taken a bit of a circuitous route throughout his volleyball career. Comes up with the save there. Unorthodox swing by Heno. Lines up a swing for Avila. Pinballed around and returned. We play on. Constable back out to Avila. Off the block and down. I mean, if you were picking sides and you didn't know anything about any of these guys, he might be overlooked as a guy you would pick on your team for outside hitter, and then you see him play.
Exactly. Just 6'1", but what an arm. Great footwork. Good vision.
Carlos setting up Darcy. Diving save by Avila. And we're going to have a net violation against CSUN. So it is 10 serving 7 here in the second for Irvine. You see Irvine 6-6 all time in this Big West Men's Volleyball Championship. Made it to the final each of the last 2 years, though. And they have their sights set on another trip here in 2025. Middle set, Delibosov. He hovered up there for an extra moment. This guy is impressive.
He really is. Great set from Constable. He got a good pass as well. And CSUN passes well. They are really dangerous.
7 kills, no errors for Delibosov, hitting .875. Goes out with that serve, though. I mean, he is human, so he's allowed to make some mistakes.
Yeah.
11 serving 8. Lollipop serve there by Carlos. And Favorim is denied. Goss was all over that one.
He seems to be getting better with each game. They have the all Big West freshman team. He's the defensive player of the week.
Constable trying to go over on 2, but Heno read it like a book. And Irvine is up by a handful.
See if Theo's going to call another timeout or not. He's going to wait for the media timeout, I guess. Great block by Heno.
Again, Carlos serving it short. D-set Phillips. As if he rappelled down from the rafters.
How did he do that? Oh, my. Two blockers up, but it was a split block.
Serve goes out there by Constable. But, man, Jalen Phillips. That is rarefied air.
You know, as Coach Theo Edwards said midweek, however Jalen goes, we go.
So far, so good. Irvine up a handful, though, here in set 2. Bump set goes to Phillips. 2 hands it over, so the advantage now to the Anteaters. It is Heno hitting with the right hand. And he still gets it down. And Irvine gets to 15 first in the second. I mean, this guy's been one of the great hitters in college volleyball with the left hand. He could have probably done it with the right, too. Hyundai head-to-head stat line. And we're looking at team blocks. You have UC Irvine with 6, CSUN with 1. CSUN taking the first set 25-22, but Anteaters with a little bit of breathing room here in the second set. They're up 15-9, and they have 4 of those 6 blocks in this set.
Heno and Goss each in on 3 blocks. There's Heno's block solo on the attempted dump.
3 blocks apiece for Goss and Heno, 2 blocks for Darcy. And a laser from the service line by Heno. Bertozzi couldn't get it down, so Heno sets up Darcy, and he tools the ball. Well, the Anteaters, or whatever lack of traction they were able to find in set one, they are certainly much more rhythmic here in the second frame. Missile. Phillips going to try to time it. Guarding that back line is Heno there. So Carlos sets up Heno from behind the line. Roll shot, diving save Karnizes. Phillips from off the net goes into it. And now UC Irvine, they've scored 4 in a row, and they're up 17-9 here. And we're going to get another timeout by Theo Edwards and his Matador squad. The tables have turned significantly in the Charlie Wade rocking the outrigger hat. He knows who the sponsors are.
He does, doesn't he?
Bertozzi going to set up Phillips, and he two-hands it over. But they're going to call a double contact. I think they're going to say that Phillips, because that was the ball that went over the net, was a little messy with it. Theo Edwards arguing his point, but that is a non-reviewable call. And so right now UC Irvine has CSUN doubled up.
That was a, that was a subjective call. It looked like it might have come out a little bit sketchy, but I don't think it was that bad.
Constable plays it off of the big screen above and is able to deliver the assist to Jalen Phillips. So for CSUN, we have seen some dramatic comebacks already here in this first day of the event. They're playing as much just to find some rhythm going into set 3 as anything else, as Bertozzi winds up in the string. Matador's hitting 111 here in this second set. Meanwhile, Irvine yet to commit a hitting error in set 2.
Hitting 667. Wow, that's a big number.
See Micah Goss smacking that volleyball, getting the rest of the bench to clap along with it in rhythm. Phillips diving save there, Carlos. So Heno sets up flex and rattles it off the fingertips. Matador's playing it back. Avila off the block. The cover there by Karnizes. Back row, Bertozzi. Right down Kalakaua Avenue.
Good set from Constable that time. Bertozzi getting up and just hammering away. Hitting, actually, I think he got a field goal there.
Carlos had to duck down for that one, and then he delivers a right nectar for Nolan Flexen, who pulverizes it.
That almost wasn't a fair fight. Nolan at the 6'9" was hovering over the heads of the two CSUN blockers.
That one winds up in the twine. We were talking about Nolan Flexen and his circuitous route through his collegiate career. Actually began his career at Grand Canyon. Didn't quite work out for him as far as the vibe. He was homeschooled during high school, and so the adjustment for him much greater perhaps than other players who come from more traditional schooling experiences. Darcy through the block, dug up by Bertozzi. Constable, oh, he tried to set middle there. Delibosov did all he could just to keep it alive. Here's Flexen, big swing. One hand set, Flexen, a little joust above the tape. It stays on the Irvine side. They are scrambling. Someone's got to get it over, and they're unable to. And CSUN wins a long one, albeit a very unorganized one.
You see him laughing? She says, I don't know why all those guys were running into each other out there. I didn't teach them that way.
D set, this is Darcy. Found the seam. And Irvine closing in here in set 2. You do have to admire the looseness of UC Irvine. We've seen it through practices this week, and even down a set, they didn't appear to feel any of the pressure. Obviously, getting to the semifinal round for Irvine is of the utmost importance in their hopes of at least putting themselves in position for an at-large berth as Delibosov is able to go hard angle to the far side. And he is still without an error now, up to 8 kills.
He's been a real highlight, especially when he started off the night with his serving, getting his team off to a 4-0 lead in that first set.
Here's Heno, and that is vintage Heno right there.
Okay, need I remind you again that Heno has now taken 21 swings, and every one of them has been a different shot.
Yeah, 21 different swings, 2 different hands.
Yes, he's also gone to the right hand tonight, folks, in case you just joined us. He's something else.
I mean, it's like he's playing volleyball in his backyard at a family reunion or something.
Yeah. I bet he wins every short court game that's played with the team that do warm-ups.
Yeah, I would think so. That's a heck of a call there. Good pass by Heno that time. Gets the set, had the backhand, it got blocked. High ball set goes back to Heno. Tried to soft touch it, got blocked again. Middle set, Goss the quick swing, saved by Delibosov. Here's Phillips through the block. And they're going to call it a point, a net violation against Irvine. So Matadors get it. And CSUN still not completely out of this second set. Down by 6. They are a strong run away from maybe making it interesting here. Jalen Phillips up to 9 kills. But that's not going to help. The serve goes out. Irvine's largest lead was 9 when they were up 20-11. And now Joe Carlos getting ready to serve.
As you said earlier, I think CSUN just trying to get some rhythm going into the fourth.
Back row. My word. Jalen Phillips. Shot out of a cannon.
I should say going into the third set. But Phillips, when he gets up and gets after it, it's like something else. Something to behold.
Yeah. That is gravity defying. When you get the opposing bench to ooh and awe as much as
That's right.
Phillips' own bench, that's when you know. Here's Heno. That'll draw some oohs and ahs from all corners of the arena as well.
His 22nd different shot, by the way, in case you're counting.
I mean, we are seeing some titans battling in the clouds here tonight. Putting on a lightning show. Set point, aloha ball here in the second for Irvine, and Heno, he went for it and served it into the net. So it remains set point, and Bertozzi trying to keep the Matadors treading water here in the second. Carlos going backside, Darcy through the block and down, and that's a wrap here on a set 2 win for Irvine. So they lose the first 25-22, and then they assert themselves in the second, flipping the script and running away with a set 2 victory, 25-18. Set 3 coming up.
Men's volleyball championship inside Simplify Arena at Scan Sheriff Center. The second match of the night. There you see CSUN taking the opening set by 3, and it was Irvine rallying back to take set number 2. The winner will face Hawaii tomorrow night, and when we come back, the serve to start set number 3.
Cut match statistics. CMAC UC Irvine in that second set went without a hitting error, hitting 536, and this match is even at 1 set apiece.
Yeah, that's why the hitting
Squad's capable of. Can they keep it going, though, as Nolan Flexen deals an ace out of the deck to get things started in the third. Flexen, who had 25 aces in the regular season, busting out his first ace of the match. So 1 serving 0 here in the third. Outside, this is Bertozzi trying to go hard angle to the far side and misses wide. So remember, Irvine did not at any point in the first set hold a lead. They led by as many as 9 in set 2, and here they are now scoring the first 2 in set 3. Alas, Flexen pumps it long, and the Matadors are on the board. And here is Stilian Delibosov. He's been phenomenal tonight. 8 kills, no errors on 10 swings. Also an ace and 3 digs. Took a little something off that time. Here's Grigorev attacking that set.
Took the first pass, and then he got the terminating kill, and the signs show up for Maximus.
Maximus, yes. Outside is Bertozzi, and he's able to rattle it off of the Goss block on the inside. And down for a kill, so Bertozzi now up to 8 kills. And here is Donovan Constable. ABCA All-American honorable mention a year ago. All Big West Conference for the 2nd straight year as announced this week. And is that yet another variation there for Elir Henno?
Yes, that would be exactly, let me see. That's 25 swings and 25 different shots.
Yeah, all different shots. Left hand, right-handed. We're just waiting for him to kick one over at this point. Bertozzi through the block. That was some force. Lorenzo Bertozzi certainly in the category of one of the hardest hitters in the Big West Conference. And it's not a particularly huge windup. He's quick on the ball, and it smacks and resonates throughout the arena. Here's Darcy trying to push Dink. It got blocked. Henno against a double block cross court and wide. So Elir Henno with just his 3rd hitting error of the match, but hold the phone. David Niffen considering a challenge, but remember, he only has 1 remaining. And I think he is internally conflicted.
Yeah.
And he decides to hang on to the Koa wooden paddle, which is utilized as the tool to initiate the challenge.
And he gets the point back anyway.
David Niffen comes to Hawaii so much, he says one of his staple stops is he likes to stop at Leonard's Bakery, of course, to pick up a box of malasadas. Outside, that was Avila. How athletic a sequence was that for Joao Avila?
Down to his knees to pass the ball, popping right back up and making the swing. Only 6'1".
I mean, you look at 6'10" Darcy on the other side.
Next to him, I know. It's almost not fair.
And yet, the little guy won that time. Outside, here is Flexen. The block slowed it down. And are they going to call a violation? Yes, it's going to be a violation against the Matadors. You had the CSUN bench, I think, were asking for an interference on the part of Irvine. But instead, it's a violation against CSUN.
Take a look here, see where the ball is. Looks like it was actually a net violation, but there was balls 50-50.
Oh, that one blasted off the block. Avila taking some very confident swings here at this juncture of the match, and we're knotted at 6. And here's Jalen Phillips. 6'5" redshirt sophomore from Anaheim, California, out of Canyon High School. And that one fell off of a table. That was nasty. And the first lead of this 3rd frame for CSUN gets the bench jumping up and down.
Phillips just pulls the trigger on that one. Very deceptive with that arm swing. Watch for him to bring some heat this time.
Pass there by Aitken. Back row, Henno! And there were 6 hands up for the Matadors.
I think the 2 wing blockers knew the ball was going to Henno, so they crashed in on the middle blocker and made sure there was 6 hands across.
8 serving 6 here for CSUN. Aiken with the pass. Carlos going against the grain to Darcy. Punching save there, Bertozzi. Here's Phillip from behind the line. The cut shot is saved by Heno. Outside Flexen. Hits it long. No touch. And the Matadors have scored 4 in a row, and they're up 3. Timeout Irvine. Oh, the pendulum swings yet once more to the Matadors side of the net. Not for a lack of effort, they pushed UCSD as far as they could go. A 5-set thriller to open up the tournament. UC San Diego will take on #1 seed Long Beach State in the first semi tomorrow. 2 seed Hawaii awaiting the winner of this one. We are even Steven here in the match, 1-1. The outserve out of the timeout by Phillips gives Irvine the point. So 7 serving 9 here, and Will Darcy will do the honors. Constable going to Phillips. His cross-court shot misses wide. And so that's the 5th hitting error here for Jalen Phillips.
He's going to be challenging that block more often and not just avoiding it.
Outside, Avila, oh boy. Some high cheddar, and he makes sure that Aiken across the way is okay. As he took one on the dome.
Watch this hit, Aiken right there. Wow. Knocked him down.
10 serving 8. Carlos eyeballs it to Flexen, blocked back, punched up by Grigorev. Here's Darcy from behind the line. That is a heck of a shot there by Will Darcy. And he's up to 9 kills. Darcy just steadily having a bit of a monster performance here. 9 kills, just 2 hitting errors. And he's at 389 in the percentage category. 9 serving 10, Flexen putting a little extra velo on it. Here's Phillips from behind the line, hits it wide. Was there a touch? No touch. CSUN wanted a touch call, and Theo Edwards players are imploring their head coach to challenge that call, and he is going to oblige.
Did not hear it nor see it. Tony Chan will figure it out in 40 seconds is my guess.
Well, they are challenging a net violation, so this is not a touch no touch call.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Now the question becomes, was the ball down before the net violation or the other way around? They will call a net violation. And these reviews are just flying by.
And it was called quickly, wasn't it?
And so
Tony Chan's on fire right now, that's all I can say.
He's in the zone. He's in the zone.
He's in the zone. Oh my goodness.
Tony Chan, the R3 in charge of the reviews, putting in some work, man. Outside, Heno tried to go cross court and missed wide. So a victorious challenge for Theo Edwards. They still have 2 challenges on their side, and then that's followed up by the Ilir Heno hitting error. And some of the looseness, some of the smiles we were remarking about on the Irvine side, they are starting to dissipate a little bit here at this stage. This is a very pivotal 3rd frame. D-set, Darcy through the block. And he's into double figures. Will Darcy has 10.
And since he started about 14 matches ago, he's hitting 386. That's an opposite. That's a big number.
Grigorev, cutting serve, good pass Karnizis. And then Bertozzi sends it wide. And so we're starting to see some hitting errors piling up on both sides, and some of them of the unforced variety. 11 serving 12 here, set 3. Grigorev hits it out. So service errors, you got 10 on the CSUN side. Now you got 9 for the Anteaters. And it's going to be Donovan Constable with the serve. Bertozzi was ready for Carlos on the dump shot attempt. Heno then smacks it off the hands. He doesn't need any kind of approach. He can just vertical jump and rip into it.
Yeah. Throw away the approaches. There, just one step, sort of mini step there. He just hammers away at that block. He's amazing. No wonder he's in the French national team.
Yeah, he's pretty decorated. Will go down as one of the greats for sure. Pinballed around, Flexen gets it over. What a play defensively by Irvine, and then finally the punctuation mark there by Jalen Phillips. But this very volleyball savvy crowd here in the islands applauding the effort by the Anteaters to keep that one off of the ground.
That might have been the defensive play of the night by Flexen. They're having to chase it deep into the court and then sidewinding it back.
Goss. His number hasn't been called all that much here in this last stretch of the set, but that time Carlos going to his middle, and he found the... So.
Actually, 400 is a good number for a middle.
He usually hits 441, so he's even outdoing that. And that's an ace for Elir Heno. He is now 7 away from tying the NCAA career aces record. All. First touch there, Bertozzi. Outside, Avila, and that was a nifty swing. It was tight to the net. There was a double block, a large one at that waiting for him, and he still was able to spin it past and find that near corner.
Pretty savvy shot by the Brazilian. Young man out of Rio de Janeiro.
Says he likes to listen to music, and what he does as a pregame ritual is visualize the outcome of the match.
Pretty cool.
And he's got 6 kills and 1 error. And here is Boaz Surson with the ace. So a well-timed service sub here for Theo Edwards.
Ball just hit right into the seam between 2 players. 2 pretty good passers, by the way, too. Aiken and Heno.
6th ace of the year for Surson. Forces an overpass there, and that works the same as an ace. Avila the beneficiary. And CSUN starting to get riled up. They're up 3. They've scored the last 3. And the Anteaters forced the signal for a timeout. Presented by Hawaii Nissan dealers, 248. That is Evan Paddock of UC Santa Barbara. It was in 2023 where Heno had 87 service aces. Here's Darcy out of the timeout. What a save there for the Matadors. Bertozzi through the block and down.
Well, how about the lift that Boaz Surson has given this team? He's from Israel, Kfar Saba, Israel. Competed on the Israeli national.
Incredible save. Courtesy Donovan Constable. And yeah, the Matadors in what has been a match that from set to set has taken on a completely different personality. Up by 4 here in the 3rd. And that's an ace. Surson strikes again.
The secret weapon has come out. Hasn't played all night, has he?
No, he has not. Had 5 aces on the season coming into this one. Now he has 2, and we have a substitution on the Irvine side.
And an overpass that was like an ace.
That's right. Tim Ennis inserted in, and Goss goes off the block and down. So the tourniquet is applied here by the Anteaters, but now they've got a hill to climb. Down by 4 here. We're getting into the latter stage of set 3. And what is on the line here for CSUN, obviously a loss tonight, it's season over. For UC Irvine, a loss tonight absolutely puts them in a difficult position as it pertains to getting an at-large bid into the NCAA tournament, as Goss is denied by the netting. And to go down 2-1, that's when the pressure of all of that weight starts to be felt. 10 service errors each side. Here's Jalen Phillips, 20 serving 15. It's an overpass, and Delibosov does the honors. He's got 9 kills, no errors, and CSUN is starting to dominate from the service line.
CSUN's serving has gotten better, at the same time Irvine's passing has gotten worse.
And Phillips that time trying to go line and misses wide.
Not a good combination. One team starts serving better, you start serving passing worse. Not a good combo.
Yeah, hard to win sets when that's what's leaning against you.
It'll be tough getting these next 4 points though.
Darcy knuckleballs it over. Constable going D-set, that's Phillips. And that finds the floor after an initial save down by the ankles there by Heno. And it is 22 serving 16. Phillips up to 14 kills, hitting 290. High ball set. This is Ennis. It'll be saved by Avila. And on the second touch, Constable unloads on it. Remember, he was a pin hitter at one point in his career, and he showed it right there. It is 23 serving 16. The Matadors closing in. Avila again to serve, curls it over the net. Does that hit the turf? Yes, it does. It's an ace. Matadors from the service line wreaking havoc here in the third.
Aiken is questioning this call. It looks like from that blurry vision that it was a good pass.
And that is blocked. Ennis tried to go lefty on it, and the Matadors weren't having it, and they take set 3 running away 25-16. And CSUN has the 3rd-seeded Anteaters and the 4th-ranked team in the country against the ropes. Well, it was the serving for CSUN that took over in that 3rd set, as it went from being a tightly contested 3rd frame to a 25-16 victory for the Matadors, who are now up 2-1 in the match, C-Mac.
Yeah, what a difference it made. Avila on the outside at 6'1", you know, he's really outmanned by the big UC Irvine block, but he just finds ways to get the job done. Tooling it off the block, there he hits one hard in the back row. And he's been a really, really welcome, a real liability. He's turning out to be far from that.
Matadors hit 526 in that 3rd frame compared to 143 for Irvine. And I think the expression on the face of David Niffen says it all. Like, this is serious stuff now. This is do or die time, perhaps, for UC Irvine, which to this point has put together a really strong resume. 20-6 overall, 6-4, and 3rd place in the Big West Conference. They have logged some very notable victories over the course of the season, including a pair against USC, a win over Long Beach State. And so they feel like they are in position to get consideration for possible at-large berth. But you would imagine a lot of that would be erased or at least minimized if they do not at least get to the semifinals of this event.
Top 3 RPI as well, and arguably the toughest schedule in America. So you lay out the perfect case, Canelo.
And so CSUN trying to take advantage and advance to play 2-seed Hawaii tomorrow. But Ilir Heno, you'd imagine, is going to get a whole lot of work here in this fourth set, because if UC Irvine is in position to go down, they're going to go down with number 20 swinging, that's for sure. This match takes on a very similar feel to the last time these two teams met, which was just last Saturday. It was CSUN playing in Northridge, up 2-1, and Irvine would take the fourth, 25-18. Again, this was on the road for the Anteaters, and then in a very close fifth set, they would win 15-13.
I'm sure that the Matadors are thinking about, oh, we got another chance to redeem ourselves.
Phillips got slowed down by the block. Bump set. Here's Heno. Two blockers waiting for him, and he cuts it like he's on the sand at a beach court down at Queens in Waikiki, and he cuts it to the open area.
He makes it look so easy, doesn't he? It's so fun to watch because of his versatility and imagination, his creativity.
Backside. Here's Bertozzi. Tried to go soft with it, and Heno sent it back.
Another interesting stat from that last set was CSUN sided out at 70%, UCI 40%.
That's set off the mark, and it stays on the Matadors' side. So all of that momentum that was built up in set 3 for CSUN, seemingly Irvine has snatched some of that back. And that's how this match has gone so far, from one set to the next. Oh, that serve just scraped over the net, and it's going to be a free chance here for Irvine. Outside, Heno, a blast from the left pin. 4 straight Irvine points. Timeout, Theo Edwards. And you probably could have predicted the Anteaters would forge a response, and early on in set 4, they have. Welcome back. Ilir Heno doing Ilir Heno things here tonight. 14 kills, hitting 281, but he has filled up the stat sheet in just about every way. He's got 2 aces, 7 digs, 4 blocks. He even has 3 assists, C-Mac.
And did you see in that highlight package any shot repeated?
No.
No. All of them were different, including, what do you call that one? Is it a backhanded hook shot? Not sure.
He even used his right hand on one kill. Here's Phillips rising above and getting the kill for CSUN out of the timeout. We'll see if that gets the Matadors going a little bit here in this fourth frame. They're up 2-1. Carlos going backside. Here's Heno. The push dink that time. Yet another iteration.
You know who wouldn't mind seeing this go to 5?
Charlie Wade and some of the Hawaii guys who were in the house.
That's right.
There he is, Charlie. On the Spectrum News app, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Heno, what a serve! Adding to the total, he's got now 3 service aces. And has decided that he is going to shoulder the responsibility in this fourth frame. Net slowed that one down. Middle set, that is Favarim. And he's able to go off the touch and down.
First pass, Chris Carlos.
Favarim does not get set much. It's only his 6th set of the night, but he usually connects, keeps the ball in play. They make many errors.
Carlos going middle to Goss. And Goss unleashing. He's already into double figures. That's kill number 11. He's only got 1 hitting error, hitting 667. And here we go, the 3 smacks of the ball. It's kind of becoming a thing here. But it winds up in the twine. And now Jalen Phillips to serve. Well, we talk about how difficult it is, right? It sounds so cliche in sports, how difficult it is to beat a team 3 times in a row. As Heno is dug up by Phillips. Constable gets the swing, but the save by Heno. Now Darcy from the right side, the tip shot. Pancake save, kept alive. Avila, the joust at the net, and it's the little guy that wins.
Looks like Niffen is going to challenge the pancake dig.
6-1 going against 6-10 on that joust, and it was 6-1 winning. But we are going to have a challenge here.
Just won by CSUN.
The call was a CSUN point. So this is the replay of the pancake save, and it looked like it was the
Ball's down. I don't think a hand gets fully under it. I think it hits a lot of Terraflex. More Terraflex than it does hand.
Correction. CSUN is challenging the pancake dig.
Yeah, so that is what they are challenging, is whether or not that ball touched the Terraflex. And this is a bit of a roll of the dice for David Niffen. It's his last challenge. And so if he loses this, no more challenges for the rest of this fourth set. Would get another one if it goes to a fifth.
Right.
But did that spatula get underneath the volleyball? And this one, you could tell, first off, perhaps how big this call is and maybe how difficult it was even for Tony Chan to be taken an extended period of time.
He's got an MVP tonight, that's for sure.
Well, here we go. The call is ball down. So a successful challenge for David Niffen. And he gets to hang on to that one. And that puts UC Irvine up by 5. It goes from a 3-point differential to now 9 serving 4. And that's going to be an overpass. And that's going to be put down by Tim Ennis. The 6'4" Frosh from Scotch Plains, New Jersey. Played in only 22 sets prior to tonight. Timeout CSUN, Irvine by it's much later than that. So for these teams where they're coming from, I mean, we're approaching 1 a.m. status. It is Irvine up 10-4. Outside Avila, two-hands it over the block and gets the put down. So CSUN getting the point out of the timeout.
Avila's trying to figure out any way he can.
He's been successful a few times. 5 serving 10. That's a pass tight to the net. One-hand set to Grigorev. And Phillips was able to conjure up a save, but only momentarily.
One-hand set, Joe Carlos. 10 minutes to serve.
So UC Irvine did not have a hitting error in set 2. They have yet to commit a hitting error here in the fourth. And I think it really comes down to, you know how simple volleyball can be sometimes, C-Mac? It comes down to what side of the net you're on. Because every team that's been on this side of the net, where Irvine is at the moment, has won here so far tonight. And it was the last time Irvine was on that side where they also went error-free. What a dig there. It was Darcy. Touched over the net by Heno. Outside, Bertozzi, the tip, rattles around and falls. So Bertozzi into double figures. He's got 10 kills. And that gets CSUN out of what was a flatline situation. They were triple zeros. They're hitting 100 here. Middle set, Grigorev. Still no errors for this Irvine squad in the fourth.
They're starting to play some really good volleyball here. Going to go error-free.
Pass there by Faberé, and Phillips launching into the scene.
First pass,
CSUN's to have a chance in this set. I really believe that Phillips has got to get hot.
How about that serve by Constable? It's going to result in a free opportunity here for the Matadors. It's Phillips trying to cut it, and he finds the floor. A more artful swing that time by Jalen Phillips.
He really had no approach at all, just jumped up and did a little cut shot, found the floor, as you said.
And so now the Matadors within 4. Still plenty of volleyball left in this 4th set. Constable looking up at the big screen above, sees himself, and he serves it long. Yeah, that's actually been a thing. Some of the coaches have talked about trying to get some reps in here early and imagining looking at themselves when they serve, because come game situations, the feed from our broadcast is often up there, and if we're isolating the server, it can be kind of distracting.
Yeah.
Outside. Oh, my goodness. Jalen Phillips chose violence.
He is so fun to watch, I'm telling you. He's going up against Darcy there, and even the 6'10" Darcy couldn't stop him.
Here's Heno. He does not choose violence, but he gets the point.
And chooses another shot that's different than the last one.
It just makes it look so simple.
He's done that 36 times tonight. We've seen 36 different shots.
It is 14 serving 9. Backside Phillips. He is starting to find a certain rhythm and groove here as he's looking to will his own team in this 4th set.
Substitution number 12,
Boas back in the game. Oh, look who's coming in.
This was one of the heroes of set 3 here for CSUN. Boaz Sursun, 6'4" freshman from Kfar Saba, Israel. Competed for the Israeli national team. There's a pass there by Ennis. Middle set, Goss is blocked. Cover there by Carlos. Set to Darcy. Tried to push Dinkett, and he got a touch. Good ad-lib there by Will Darcy. And Irvine gets the 15 first in the 4th. No immediate timeout. We've already seen timeouts here in this set. And that's 11 kills here for Darcy. So 15 serving 10, it's Goss. The 3 smacks. And here it comes. Oh, that was some heat. Phillips, 2 blockers up. They slowed it down. Heno setting up Darcy. 3 blockers up in the dig along the back line by Bertozzi. Gets the set from the back row. Rattles it off of the cage. High ball set. Ennis the tip. Blocked back. Put over on 2 by Grigorev. And quick thinking there in the middle by Maximum Grigorev.
You know where he played his club volleyball? With Roger Worsley. Maybe you learned that athletic move from Roger. Or Joe. Or maybe from Gage.
Pass tight to the net, 1 hand set. It's touched over by Delibosov. And it stays on the Irvine side. Anteaters were scrambling to get it over, and it teetered just for a moment before staying on Irvine's side of the net. Phillips making sure he got it in that time. Carlos going against the grain to Darcy. Will Darcy deciding not to try to bring the thunder and just finding his way, pushing it to the open floor.
Smart play, keep the ball in play, find the donut in the hole, in the court.
And Nolan Flexen, who has given way to Tim Ennis at different stages of this match, now into serve. Outside, Avila slowed down by the block. Irvine to play it back. It's Grigorev. That was a big swing. Constable going outside. Flexing with the save there on the Avila attempt. Here's Heno, loops it over. Pancake save by Phillips. It winds up tight to the net, and it'll be played on the Irvine side. Heno from behind the line, blocked and roofed. CSUN giving Matador defense an entirely different definition.
And finally, there's an error by the UCI offense. How unusual. It's been a long time since we've seen them make a hitting error.
12 serving 17. Carlos trying to play it back on the Irvine side. He does outside the pin, and it's returned, and we play on. Great play by Joe Carlos. Bertozzi dug up by Aitken. And then a huge net violation there by Delibosov. And he is beside himself. He knows that was a golden opportunity for the Matadors to cut it a little closer.
Looks like Coach Theo Edwards wants an explanation on maybe Joe Carlos's save outside the pin.
As long as it stays outside of that pin, it can be returned. Middle set, and there is Delibosov going back to work. So he's now into double figures. That's 10 kills. He has not committed a hitting error here tonight. He has also been one of the better servers here this evening for the Matadors.
I really like his serving. I love the way he got a really simple approach. Hits with good power.
Yeah, he's been one of the better servers, frankly, all season for CSUN. Was second on the team in aces coming into this tourney. 13 serving 18. Into the twine.
UCI server Max Gregorev.
And so Max Gregorev. See if he tries to bring it.
Knowing Max? Yes.
Two-time All-Big West Conference selection now. Maxim Gregorev, also AVCA All-American Honorable Mention a year ago. And Aiden Rigg into the match, giving Irvine a little more size at the setter position up front. Outside, it's Bertozzi. Roll shot doesn't get over the tape. And Irvine now closing in. Could we be looking at our second five-setter here on day one?
Well, Camilla, the whole weekend could be like this.
We could. 5 fivers? That's a possibility. That one goes long there by Gregorev.
CSUN server Donovan Constable.
First match of the day went to 5. It was a thriller, an absolute thriller. Every set was a banger between UC Santa Barbara and UC San Diego. And it would be the Tritons advancing, taking the 5th set 15-13 as Constable pumps it long. And so UC San Diego advancing to take on top-seeded Long Beach State. That'll be in the first semi tomorrow. Number 2, Hawaii, awaiting the winner of this one. And right now, it is still too difficult to conclude. Backside, here's Bertozzi.
CSUN passes the ball well to run their offense. They're pretty dangerous. When they don't pass the ball well, their out-of-system contacts are really not that productive.
Well, Constable is a gifted setter, and so you're right. You give him a good pass, and he will keep the defense guessing. That time goes to the obvious choice in Phillips. It'll be played back. Here's Heno. And Heno gets the kill. Elir Heno now up to 17 kills. And we're going to have a challenge. And the challenge by Theo Edwards is going to be that UC Irvine committed a net violation of that play. And they have already come to a decision here. Yep. Call overturned. You could see it right there. Net violation, and CSUN gets the point. So it goes from 22-15 to now 16 serving 21, and the Matadors not out of this fourth frame just yet.
16 serving 21.
Is it getting any better?
Carlos going backside to Heno, and it was a blind, no-look swing there by Heno. He did this earlier in the year when Irvine came down to play Hawaii, and he pulls it off again.
He does a 180. This is back to the net, and then just slaps away at it. And to be fuddled, CSUN defense doesn't know what to do.
And then he serves it long, but I mean, he just is playing around. He's in a fun house. He's in a sandlot. I mean, to have the sheer audacity to attempt some of the things he does. Carlos going against the grain. It's Darcy, two hands it over. Bertozzi going to back bump set it to Phillips, and he's able to still find a way through that resistance. CSUN within 4. They haven't been able to get much closer than this, though, throughout this fourth frame. Favorine with the serve. Middle set, Goss doing some cleanup duty here late in this fourth frame.
That serve just a little bit too easy. Right in the lap of Shane Aiken, who dimed it to the center.
Irvine hitting 393. They have committed 3 hitting errors. 269 on the other side for CSUN. 4 hitting errors, not too shabby either. As Goss serves it out. Well, if you come down to watch Big West volleyball here this week, I think it's safe to say you're going to get your money's worth. Here's Phillips, curls it over the net. Diving pass by Aiken. Back row, it's Heno. Just soft touched it over. Here's Avila with 3 blockers against him, and he skips it off of Darcy. He took a quick peek at the block scheme, and it looked like he was just targeting the 6'10" frame of Darcy.
It's not the first time he's tooled Darcy tonight. Not the first, and it probably won't be the last.
And so CSUN within 3, timeout Irvine. Welcome back. So CSUN trying to force a decisive 5th. Led by as many as 6 when it was 22-16. Matadors making a late charge here. Can you believe there's only been 1 lead change in this match? It seems as though whoever starts well from set to set, for the most part, has been able to go on and win that set.
And on that side of the court.
Yeah, at least to this point. Here's Phillips out of the timeout, made sure he got it in. Carlos going middle. Grigorev blocked and roofed. Solo stuff by Stilian Delibosov. And CSUN is within 2.
And UCI has 1 more timeout left. I think that David Niffen, if he loses this next point, will definitely call it at 23-22. We'll see.
Phillips got to get it in. Take something off. It's a tough serve. It's an ace. 4 straight points for the Matadors, and they're now knocking on the door. Down by 1. Timeout UC Irvine. And the pressure mounting here for David Niffen in this Anteater squad, C-Mac.
I'll tell you, I really admire Jalen Phillips and the way he's serving the ball right now. He just knows how to really disguise his heater with the off-speed shot, and it's really making all kinds of problems for the UCI passing pattern. But you know what? I also think 5 again. They'd like to finish it in 4.
Well, while we have a chance, let's check in with Ryan. What's on for CSUN? They have scored 4 in a row. They're within 1. They trailed by as many as 6. 22 serving 23 out of the timeout. Carlos going backside. Darcy through the block and down. Will Darcy, where there's a will, there's a way, and it is now set point for Irvine.
I had a feeling that set was going to go to Darcy because he's chomping at the bit to get one over there on that right side against the 6'1" blocker, Avila.
Aloha ball in the fourth. Middle set, Delibosov, and it's not over yet. It remains set point. But now you have Joao Avila back to serve for the Matadors. 23 serving 24. Gets it in, pass by Heno. Carlos go in, D-set to Darcy. And did that hit the block? Yes, it did. Although CSUN arguing that it did not. Right now, the call on the floor is a point, Irvine, and we're going to a fifth, but hold the phone. Theo Edwards is challenging that call. It looked like the Matador players said that they did not make contact with it, or that the ball may have hit the pin first. Let's see. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I don't think it touched the blocker.
This angle could tell a good story.
There's the net, but does it hit the blocker? You know, because the ball changed the direction there, I think that Tony Chan will believe that it was a touch, that the forearm made the ball go off that right angle.
Well, we're glad that Ryan didn't try to interview Tony Chan at that time, because a crucial call has now
this is a big one.
Befallen the R3. But we're with you, Ryan. We totally get it.
This is a big call right here.
But this is one that you would imagine he'd be a little more deliberate with regard to.
So it's either 24 all or it's 25-23.
It's either, yeah, it's either 24 all or we're going to set 5 for the second time tonight. The Hawaiian Islands presents the 2025 Outrigger Big West Men's Volleyball Championship. Day one has not disappointed, that's for sure. And they're going to uphold the call. It is a failed challenge. And yes, sirree, another 5-setter. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. Big West volleyball, top of the stack. Seasons potentially on the line. Well, here we are. This is your scenario. 6-seed CSUN, 3-seed UC Irvine, number 9 in the ABC rankings versus number 4 in the Outrigger Big West Men's Volleyball Championship. Stilian Delibosov will get us started from the service line. Diving past there, Shane Aitken. D-set, Darcy pumps it out. And CSUN on the board first. Oh, set 5, such a small margin for error, right, C-Mac?
It really is. How about that pass by Aitken? Just dove into what I thought was going to be an ace. Dove into the seam and popped it up perfectly.
The liberos for all 4 teams we've seen tonight, just spectacular. That time, though, it was too much heat from Delibosov. Even Aitken couldn't pop it up. And an ace, second of the match for the freshman from Bulgaria.
It's like a rerun of the first set when Delibosov went on a run to give the Matadors a 4-0 lead in that first set.
Took a little something off that time. Carlos going outside. Heno rips into it for his 18th put down. And you're right. It's going to be Heno time,
yeah.
You'd imagine.
He'll be getting as many sets as Joe Carlos can possibly give him.
Into the net it goes by Grigorev. It's 3-1 CSUN. Carlos going outside. Heno two-hands it through the block, and it'll be sent over by Constable. Carlos going middle, it's Goss. And that was a laser. So 2 serving 3 here. Micah Goss now with 13 kills, hitting .667. And Joe Carlos, the grad student from Costa Mesa, with the serve. It goes through the hands of Bertozzi. So cross-court bump set Phillips. What an assist by the libero, Chris Carnizes.
Give him a ton of credit there. And Phillips, too, for doing that nice little step close, keep the ball in play. Phillips goes up, does not bring a full heat, just keeps it in play.
Yeah, Carnizes, who did play setter and libero in high school, showing it off there on that assist. Carlos going back to Heno.
Can I tell you, every ball's going to Heno.
I mean, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't you just dial it into number 20 at every given opportunity?
In fact, I think if Joe Carlos sets somebody else, Heno might be mad. He wants every set right now.
I mean, there is a possibility if Irvine loses that this is the final match in an illustrious career for Elir Heno. And that one tickled the top of the tape and ricocheted out. Remember, each side getting an added challenge here in this 5th frame. And so 2 challenges remaining for each team. Favarim sends it across on the serve. Carlos outside. Ennis had the flutter swing it over. Now Phillips blocked. Punched up in the air by Constable. And it is hit wide by Phillips. It was Deli Bosov who gave him the assist. It was a hittable ball.
Yeah, Jalen Phillips, he just wished he had that one back, because a high hand shot there would have been way better than the avoidance of the block shot.
Middle set, that one is pummeled by Deli Bosov. What a night. Have a match, Stilion. 12 kills, 16 attempts, 0 errors.
Hitting .750.
6 serving 4. Pass is tight to the net. One hand back set. Darcy dug up by Phillips. A joust above the tape. It's saved by Carlos. Goes a set goes to Darcy off the block and out. Oh, he put everything behind that swing. And it's a 1-point separation.
You can tell that each player on the floor right now playing with all their heart, put everything they can into it, trying not to make mistakes.
And remember, it's about 1:30 a.m. Pacific time.
Too easy to serve.
Back row, Heno tried to go wrist away and missed it wide. The Matadors are up by 3, and they will swap ends. Well, hold on. We're going to have a challenge here from David Niffen. So you had the Matador squad, at least the 6 that were on the floor. They were already on the opposite side of the net, but David Niffen going to challenge someone.
Challenge for the net, I think. Net violation, I think.
You see Elir Heno tapping his own chest, saying, my bad, trying to go on the wrist away attempt. Misses wide. And let's see if there was a net violation there. That would bail out this Irvine squad big time.
I don't think there was. David might have been using that as a timeout.
There was not. And you're right. You got 2 challenges. You can't take them with you. And right now, this is a dire circumstance for UC Irvine. The Matadors, in the 3rd straight meeting between these 2 teams, trying to prove true the adage that it is indeed difficult to beat a team 3 times in a row, especially in this Big West Conference. 8 serving 5. Avila to send it over. Diving pass there by Heno. Here's Darcy from behind the line. And Will Darcy staying on track. He's got 16 kills, hitting over 400. David Niffen talking about how he has performed at an All-American level since starting the last 14 matches. 2-point differential. Outside, it is Bertozzi. Good up there by Grigorev. Here's Heno, punches it over the block. Saved there, Karnizes. D-set Phillips. Dug up over the net by Ennis. CSUN on the attack. Here's Phillips again. And Phillips grabbing at his left calf area, it seemed, after he landed.
Does he have a cramp going on there?
Maybe.
We did see in the last match, the 5-7, that somebody was, it was somebody from...
Yeah, Jess Bianchi was starting to feel the effects on his shoulder. Here's Darcy. That was an avoidance swing. There was no touch. He hits it long. And CSUN is up 4 here in the 5th.
Challenge.
Another challenge for a net violation. So David Niffen thought he saw something there on the Matador side. I mean, what a first day. Are you not entertained, C-Mac?
Oh, man, this is as good as it gets.
2 5-setters.
And just to think that the 2 top-rated teams
yeah, haven't
aren't
played
even
yet.
playing yet.
Let's see, is there a net here?
No, but the net was moving because of the serve. That's why I think David Niffen might have thought, oh, must have been one of the blockers that did that. It's taking a pretty unusual.
These are high leverage moments in this match. And here is the call. Survey says it remains a CSUN point. And so with that, Irvine has exhausted all of its challenges. No more remaining for David Niffen, 2 remaining for Theo Edwards. And what an opportunity presenting itself here for the Matadors. The 6th seed in this tournament. Outside, Heno over the block. And too hot to handle there for Delibosov. Number 2, Hawaii awaiting the winner of this one.
Well, last weekend, just 6 days ago, this Matador team lost 15-13 in the 5th. They're bound and determined not to repeat that effort, is my guess. And there is a really good server in Max Grigorov.
Pass there, Bertozzi. Here's Phillips from behind the line, touched it over. Grigorov, who's right there. Rig goes to Heno, off the block, diving save Darcy. The swing by Rig, he gets the point. What a play by UC Irvine to keep it up.
He's in there as a blocking sub and gets his only kill of the night. What a play!
The redshirt freshman from right here in Honolulu, Hawaii, out of Punahou School. After the first touch by Darcy, centered by Ennis and Rig. Welcome back. Oh, there is Brett Sheward, former University of Hawaii and UC Irvine setter.
Played in Finland this year. Had a good year playing professionally.
Looking very incognito here this evening. 5th set, Grigorev serving out of the timeout. And Bertozzi is blocked. Great cover by Karnizes. It winds up on the Irvine side. Rig setting up Heno down the line, dug up but out. And Irvine has fought back to within 1. They trailed by 4. They've ripped off 3 straight.
What a comeback by the Anteaters.
Grigorev trying to keep the pressure on. He does. Forces the overpass. Opportunity knocking. Heno through the block and down. And we are tied at 10 in the 5th. Elir. Body clocks haven't fully adjusted yet. Their bodies are demanding a lot of them right now.
It's 1:30 in the morning and their body clocks by now.
Exactly.
It's a race to 5, Kanoa.
Here we go. Tickles the tape, almost goes down. It was a pancake first touch by Carnizes. Advantage Anteaters. Heno popped up in the air by Avila. Constable has to chase it down. Here is Bertozzi. It'll be played back. Rig out to Heno again. Dug up by Avila. Carnizes to Bertozzi through the block. Diving save Darcy. Second touch Rig. Heno from off the playing surface. He goes wide of the antenna, and it's a point for CSUN.
What a dig by Avila to keep that rally going. Rig goes out, did a great job while he's in there, and Joe Carlos comes back in.
9 digs to go along with his 9 kills. Joao Avila. Diving pass again, that time by Aitken, and Heno touching it through the block. And we are knotted at 11. How can you not love this?
Jalen Phillips just gets abused by the Frenchman.
Outside, here's Phillips from the left side. Head above the clouds, getting the CSUN point.
Phillips had his way that time. They're just trading blows, Kanoa. Telling you. Prize fight.
Again, it's cliche. It's just one of those things. It's shameful. One of these teams is going to have to go down tonight. Here's Heno through the block. Lights it aflame. We're tied again. Back and forth we go. 2 prize fighters in the middle of the ring exchanging leather.
And Heno's gotten 5 of the last 6 sets, I believe, just like he wants it.
24 kills for Ilir Heno, 56 attempts. And he goes long with it, just beyond the end line. Advantage to CSUN, 13 serving 12.
No chance to challenge, let's say, on a close line call like that, because I believe Niffen is out of him.
0 challenges remaining for Irvine. And here is Boaz Sursun. He's got a pair of aces on his ledger tonight, but that one is sent way out. 13-13. I mean, we would have saved a lot of time tonight if we just came out and played to 2.
That's right. Oh, my. Here comes Micah Goss, a really good server for Irvine.
This crowd is loving it.
Flexen comes in for Darcy.
This crowd is loving it. They're drinking it in, and you're right, big move here is Flexen now on the floor. A serve by Goss. Pass Bertozzi is a dime. Backside, Phillips! Oh, he went up a few extra floors and absolutely smashed it. And it is Aloha ball. Match point for a trip to the semis. 25 kills for Phillips. He will serve. Pass by Flexen. Carlos goes to Flexen through the block. It slowed it down. It'll be played back. From behind the line, Phillips. The dig there by Aitken. Back row, Heno gets the touch. And we'll play extras. It's deuce in the 5th.
I think Donovan Constable kind of forced that ball to Phillips that time. Couldn't quite get it back as far enough for Phillips to get a good swing at it. Otherwise, could have had a really good match point swing.
Good serve by Flexen. Great pass, Avila. D-set, Phillips destroys it.
What a set from Donovan Constable. Perfect location.
And a timeout taken by UC Irvine. Jalen Phillips, who just does things that leave you speechless. And this has been yet another instant classic. Second one of the day. And with so much swirling around the ramifications of what this could mean if CSUN wins this match, not just for the Matadors, but what it could mean for the Anteaters. There is so much at stake.
Yeah, you can feel the tension on both huddles. That they know that there's so much riding on each and every point here as we close out this match. Here's Phillips bearing that one of his 26 kills on 53 swings, and he's hitting 360. What a night he's having. He's also got a couple aces to boot.
Well, the stars come out, right? This time of year. This is on the CSUN side, Jalen Phillips. On the Irvine side, Ilir Heno. It has been a battle and a clash of the Titans.
We predicted it would be a battle of the Apples tonight, and it has come to be just that.
There has been only one lead change in this match. CSUN has led the entirety of this fifth frame, and they are serving for the victory.
Second match point.
Aloha ball here. Many in the stands to their feet. Wait for the timeout to expire, and here we go.
So they serve Heno short.
Avila on the serve. Pass by Aitken is on the money. D-set flexing off the fingertips. Phillips the save. Here's Bertozzi, dug up by Aitken. Back row, Heno is blocked, and it goes out. And we're not done yet.
Oh, Bertozzi had a good swing at it. But a better defensive effort by UCI keeps this match going.
Tied for the 6th time here in the 5th. And it's going to be Ennis sending it over. Middle set, and that one put down by Delibosov. He's just had an exquisite effort tonight. 13 kills, no errors. Hitting 765. And another match point opportunity. The third Aloha ball here for the Matadors. Can they finish it off? A win that would be heard throughout the volleyball country. Carlos going outside. Heno. And he gets it down to the floor. They are going to ride the coattails of Ilir Heno wherever this path leads.
He's getting set after set after set. And doesn't mind at all.
16, serving 16.
Almost 60 swings tonight for Heno.
It's Max Grigorev to serve. Second on the team in aces this season. Pass by Avila is a good one. D-set Phillips. All the way up the elevator shaft. Fourth match point coming up for CSUN.
They switched Joe Carlos out to the left this time, thinking that maybe we'll fake him out. Normally he goes to the right. Did not fake him out at all.
And the serve goes into the net. It's 17 all. Irvine and CSUN. Joe Carlos to serve. Down the line and in! It's an ace! And it is the first lead change of set 5. Only the second lead change of the match. And now the Anteaters are serving for the win.
Can you believe this? On a jump float, no less.
Oh, the CSUN serve receive. They thought it was out. They let it hit the floor. It's ruled in. And all of a sudden, everything has changed here on the scoreboard. What a match.
There's been the hero of the 5th set for the UCI Anteaters, Ilir Heno. He's got 27 kills on the night. And I think he's asked for every set here in the 5th set.
Well, they narrowly edged CSUN in 5 in the last match that both these teams played. And here they are. They had not led until 18-17. The score currently on the board here in the 5th.
Notice that Hilier's taking over a little leadership role there, talking in the huddle. Coach Niffen trusts that whatever he says is probably going to help.
Well, the mood has certainly shifted on the Irvine side. Things a little bit more concerning on the Matadors side in that huddle. Joe Carlos is the server, and so it is incumbent on him to get this serve in. And just like the first match, it's just one of those where both teams played well enough to advance. The only thing is that only one team can, and it is going to lead to absolute heartbreak. Someone's going to feel like they were oh so close, and right now it is Irvine with the chance. Aloha ball, 18 serving 17. For a ticket to play 2-seed Hawaii tomorrow night.
Here comes the jump float, the set likely to go to Jalen Phillips. See if Irvine leans that way.
Just gets over the net. Constable goes outside. Phillips off the block. The save by Aiken. Set to Heno. Dug up by Avila, but it hits the board above and goes over the net. And that is how this one ends. If it had stayed on the Matador side after hitting the big screen above, they could have played it, but because it went over the net, this one is over, and Irvine wins in extra points in the 5th.
Wow, you got a feel for Cal State Northridge having 3 match points and not being able to pull it out. You're getting a lot of credit to UC Irvine for gutting it out, being behind the whole 5th set, as you said, and only leading once.
What a battle in that 5th set. UC Irvine hitting 379, CSUN hitting 350, and the Matadors led all the way until the very, very end of that one. And UC Irvine will advance, and they'll have the opportunity to place their name in the next round